This Okinawa woman is 96 years old. She has never owned a bathroom scale. She takes no medications. Every morning before the sun is fully up, she boils water, measures a small handful of loose tea leaves into a ceramic pot, and pours herself a cup she will finish before breakfast. Her neighbors do the same thing. So did her mother. So did her grandmother. Now here is what is strange. Millions of people in the West drink green tea every single day. They buy it at Starbucks. They steep it at their desk. They drop it into smoothies. And yet the gap between their health and hers is enormous. It is not that they are drinking the wrong tea. It is what they are putting in it, and what they are leaving out. Today we are covering the 4 things that quietly kill the benefits of green tea. Things most people add without thinking. And 4 things Okinawan women add instead. Each one chosen because it does something specific for the body. One of the items on the first list is sold in every Western grocery store as a healthy choice. You will want to hear that one. Let's start with the biology, because once you understand what green tea is actually doing inside your body, the rest of this video makes complete sense. Green tea's power lives in a group of compounds called catechins. The most important one is EGCG, epigallocatechin 3-galate. That is a long name for something that does a very specific job. EGCG is an antioxidant, and a strong one. It reduces inflammation at the cellular level, protects blood vessels, supports brain function, and helps your immune system stay sharp. And Okinawans have roughly 1/3 the rate of dementia compared to people in the United States. Researchers studying them since 1975 keep returning to this daily tea ritual as a contributing factor. Not the only factor, but a consistent one across virtually every centenarian they have documented. Here's the thing, though. EGCG does not work the same way in isolation as it does inside the whole plant. Green tea delivers it wrapped in a natural matrix, a combination of water-soluble compounds, plant fibers, and cofactors that help your body absorb and use it. That system is more fragile than most people realize, and this is the gap nobody talks about. Most people in the West are drinking green tea thinking they are getting the full benefit. But some of the most common additions, things sitting on your kitchen counter right now, intercept the catechins before your body ever gets the chance to use them. Okinawan women never made these additions. Their food philosophy has a name, Nuchigu-sui. It translates roughly to food as medicine. Under that philosophy, you do not add anything to a cup that weakens what is already in it. You only add things that make it stronger. That philosophy produced the 4 items on the avoid list, and it produced the 4 on the add list too. Let's go through them one by one. The first thing is dairy milk or cream. Walk into any kitchen in Okinawa, and you will not find a milk jug next to the kettle. That is not an accident. The traditional Okinawan diet is extremely low in dairy across the board. Milk, cream, butter, cheese. These were never part of the food system. So adding them to tea was never even a question. But here is the biological reason it matters. Green tea's catechins, especially EGCG, are water-soluble compounds. When you pour dairy milk into that cup, the casein proteins in the milk physically bind to those catechins at the molecular level. They lock onto them, and once that happens, your body cannot absorb them properly. The compounds pass through you without doing their job. One study measured antioxidant activity in tea before and after adding dairy milk. The reduction was measurable and significant. You are essentially converting a carefully prepared health drink into warm flavored water with added calories. If you genuinely need something creamy in your cup, a small amount of oat or almond milk appears to have less impact on catechin absorption than dairy does. But Okinawan women drink it clear. That is the standard. And it is the standard for a reason. The second thing is refined sugar. In Japan, adding sugar to green tea is simply not done. Go to any vending machine in Okinawa, and the shelves are stocked with unsweetened tea. No one questions it. It is just how tea is. Meanwhile, some bottled green teas sold in the United States contain up to 64 grams of sugar per serving. That is more than 2 full candy bars. in one bottle of something marketed as a health drink. Here is the problem beyond the obvious. When you consume refined sugar regularly, it drives chronic low-grade inflammation throughout the body. That slow, persistent inflammation is the root mechanism behind heart disease, joint deterioration, cognitive decline, and accelerated skin aging. Green tea's entire purpose is to fight that inflammation. EGCG reduces it, polyphenols suppress it, and then sugar restarts it. You are pressing the gas and the brake simultaneously. The tea is working against itself because of what you added to it. Okinawan women get their sweetness from whole foods, sweet potatoes, a piece of fruit alongside the cup, never from refined sugar stirred into the tea itself. The third thing is artificial sweeteners. This one surprises people. 0 calories, no blood sugar spike. It sounds like a smarter choice than sugar. But Okinawan women would not recognize those little packets. Their entire food philosophy is built around one principle. If it was made in a lab, it does not belong in the cup. And the science is starting to support that instinct. Recent research has raised serious questions about what artificial sweeteners do to the gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living in your digestive system that regulate immune function, inflammation response, mood, and metabolism. Some studies suggest these compounds disrupt the microbial balance in ways that create downstream metabolic consequences. The full picture is still emerging, but the direction of the evidence is not encouraging. There is a second issue that is less clinical but equally real. Artificial sweeteners are intensely sweet, far sweeter than sugar. Over time, they retrain your palate to expect that level of sweetness from everything you drink. The subtle, natural flavor of high-quality green tea, the grassy notes, the slight bitterness, the gentle warmth, gets completely overridden. You stop tasting the tea and start tasting the additive. Give yourself about 2 weeks without any sweetener in your cup. Your palate adjusts. After that, the tea tastes complete on its own. The fourth thing is excess salt. You would not typically pour salt directly into a cup of tea. But this one is about a broader pattern that shapes how Okinawan women build flavor in everything they consume, and it has a direct connection to cardiovascular health. In most Western kitchens, salt is the default tool for making food and drink taste better. In Okinawa, that role belongs to herbs. Turmeric, mugwort, ginger, these are the flavor builders. Sodium is largely absent from that system. This matters because high sodium intake is the leading driver of high blood pressure. And high blood pressure is the #1 risk factor for stroke in women over 50. Okinawan elders consistently show sodium consumption well below what Western adults average, and their cardiovascular numbers reflect it. It also matters for tea specifically because commercial tea blends, flavored teas, and powdered tea mixes often contain hidden sodium. Okinawan women use whole loose leaves and fresh ingredients. Nothing processed. Nothing with a label hiding things you did not choose to add. The common thread across all four is this. Each one either intercepts the catechins directly, generates the inflammation the tea is designed to fight, or disrupts the biological systems the tea is trying to support. Now flip the list. Here is what they put in instead. The first addition is jasmine flowers. In Okinawa, the most popular tea is not plain green tea. It is called Sanpin Cha, which translates loosely to tea with a bit of scent. It is made by infusing green tea leaves with dried jasmine blossoms, and it is everywhere on the island. Vending machines stock it. Grandmothers make it every morning. Dan Buettner, the researcher who coined the term blue zones, documented a 104-year-old Okinawan woman making it in her home, squatting in the corner, pouring hot water over the leaves while jasmine scent filled the room. This was not a special occasion. It was an ordinary Tuesday. So why jasmine specifically? The tea itself is exceptionally rich in EGCG, higher concentrations than many plain green teas because of the way the leaves are processed and combined. But the jasmine adds something the tea alone does not provide. Studies have shown that jasmine's scent compound, linalool, directly lowers heart rate and reduces cortisol, the primary stress hormone. You are not just smelling something pleasant. Your nervous system is responding to it at a measurable physiological level. For women managing the daily mental load of caregiving, health concerns, or simply the accumulated stress of life after 50, that cortisol reduction is not a small thing. Chronic high cortisol drives inflammation, disrupts sleep, and accelerates cellular aging. Jasmine works on that mechanism while the green tea works on inflammation from a different angle. The two together hit more targets than either one alone. To make it at home: 1 teaspoon of loose-leaf green tea, 1 teaspoon of dried jasmine flowers, water at 175 degrees Fahrenheit, not boiling. Steeped for 2 to 3 minutes. That is the full preparation. Both ingredients are available online or at most health food stores. The second addition is turmeric. Okinawans have been brewing turmeric directly into tea for centuries, ever since the spice arrived via trade routes from India around the 6th century. The active compound in turmeric is curcumin. It is one of the most studied natural anti-inflammatory substances in the world. Hundreds of peer-reviewed papers, results that are consistent across populations and study designs. Here is what curcumin actually does. As we age, low-level inflammation builds steadily in the body. Researchers call it inflammaging, chronic, slow-burning inflammation that sits beneath the surface and drives the stiffness you feel in the morning, the mental fog in the afternoon, the fatigue that seems to arrive from nowhere. Curcumin interrupts that process at the cellular level. It does not mask the symptoms, it addresses the mechanism. There is one catch. Curcumin on its own has poor bioavailability. Your body struggles to absorb it. Adding a small pinch of black pepper to the cup changes that entirely. The piperine in black pepper increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. A tiny pinch. That is all it takes. A small squeeze of lemon alongside it adds vitamin C and brightens the flavor. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder to your green tea. Add the black pepper. That is the core of what Okinawan women drink daily, and the preparation takes about 30 seconds. The third addition is mugwort, called yomogi in Okinawa. Most Western women have never heard of it. It is an aromatic herb with an earthy, slightly bitter flavor, somewhere between sage and chamomile. In Okinawa, it has been used in both food and traditional medicine for hundreds of years, and it carries a particular reputation in women's health. Mugwort has a long documented history of supporting hormonal balance, easing discomfort related to menstrual cycles, and promoting healthy circulation. For women navigating perimenopause or postmenopause, it is considered a gentle daily support for the body through those transitions. The nutritional profile adds to that. Vitamins A, B1, B2, and C, plus iron, potassium, and phosphorus. It also contains high levels of chlorophyll, which supports detoxification and healthy blood production. Steep dried mugwort alongside your green tea leaves for 3 minutes. The flavor integrates naturally, earthy and mild. It does not overpower the tea, it deepens it. The fourth addition is bitter melon, known locally as Goya. This one is the most unusual, and Okinawan women will tell you directly, the bitterness is the point. There is a saying on the island, the more bitter the food, the more strength it gives you. Goya is the living proof of that belief. It is exceptionally high in vitamin C, contains beta-carotene, iron, and potassium, and research has shown its compounds help regulate blood sugar levels. For women over 50, as insulin resistance tends to increase with age, that blood sugar stabilization matters enormously. It is also a natural liver supporter, helping the body process and clear waste more efficiently. Use dried Goya slices steeped for 5 minutes. Start shorter if the bitterness is too intense, and work up gradually. The taste is acquired. But Okinawan women have been acquiring it for generations, and the results speak for themselves. Here is what ties all of this together. It is not any single ingredient. It is not the jasmine or the turmeric on their own. It is the philosophy that selected every one of them and rejected everything on the first list, nuchigusui, food as medicine. Under that principle, every ingredient in the cup earns its place by doing something for the body. Not because it tastes good, not because it is convenient, because it works. And anything that weakens what is already in the cup gets removed. No negotiation. That sounds simple. It is simple. But simple sustained over a lifetime produces something that looks almost impossible to us from the outside. The Okinawan Centenarian Study has been running since 1975. One of its most striking findings is not just that these women live longer. It is how they live. Okinawan women spend roughly 97% of their lives free of disability. They are not in nursing homes at 90. They are in their gardens. They are walking to a neighbor's house. They are squatting on the floor, pouring hot water over tea leaves, the same way they have done it every morning for 7 decades. There is also the social dimension, and researchers believe it matters as much as anything in the cup. Tea in Okinawa is not a solo habit. It is a gathering point. Women meet in their moai, their lifelong social circles, some together for 80